Hey, this is Alex Albrand. Welcome back to my channel. And in this video, I want to talk about some honest advice to struggling, broke, kind of beginner entrepreneurs who feel stuck in their business, right? Because I was that beginner stuck entrepreneur. I didn't know where my next client was coming from, right? I didn't have a lot of money. I had big goals, kind of big dreams, but I didn't really know how to have the skill set, how to execute on those goals. And so I just want to make this video just to share. I mean, I've made 8 figures in my business at 25 years old. And I just say that because if I can do it, you can do it as well in your own business. And I just want to give some honest advice. If I was in your position, which I was, I wanted to have a video like this to help me along the way. So hopefully you enjoy the video and thanks for watching. When I started my business and I was struggling, I didn't have a lot of money, I didn't know where my next client was coming from, I didn't have the success, but I felt really busy. Right? Like at the end of the day, I'm like, wow, I did a lot, but I'm not really getting the result that I want. And so my advice to you is look at your calendar. I recommend as an action item from this video, look at the next 7 days of your life, of your business, map out every 30 minutes, do a timer, write down to a T, what did you do that 30-minute window? Did you reach out to 10 prospects? Did you set up your website? Like what activities did you really do? Did you watch Netflix, right? Did you waste time on Instagram? Map that out 30 minutes every window of 7 days in a row. I did that for my business for months straight because I was like, I feel like I'm exhausted, I'm burnt out, I'm working, I'm doing things, but I'm still not getting the result that I want. And as time went on, I figured out, okay, I'm working quote unquote 12 hours per day, but I'm really investing only about 90 minutes per day of actual sales and marketing activities. Because if you're struggling, it means you don't have enough revenue coming in the door. If you have a lot of money coming in the door, you have challenges, you have business obstacles, but you're not really struggling, right? You might have operational issues, but you're not broke. But if you're struggling as an entrepreneur, you don't have a lot of revenue or clients coming in the door, you need to be focused on marketing and sales about 98% of your time, right? That's more important than product, than delivery, than anything else. But if you look at your time, I bet, and this is my honest advice, I bet that you're not spending a lot of time as you think you are on actual marketing and sales activities. I bet there's a lot of Netflix, there's a lot of Instagram, YouTube Shorts, watching videos like this. Hey, I recommend watching my videos, but a lot of other videos are kind of value-tainment. You know, there's some value in there, but it's more like entertainment. It's not really educational. So I recommend looking at your time, micromanaging it, and really figuring out how much time am I spending getting my money, right? Your money is out there. Your clients are out there. They don't know how to find you. That's a marketing issue. Or they're finding you, but your offer isn't compelling enough to get them to sign up with you. That's a sales process issue. That's an offer issue. Or they get on the phone with you, they like what you have to say, but you're not closing deals. That's a sales issue, a sales training issue, a script issue. So look at your time in 30-minute blocks. And this is just my first tip. For the next 7 days, and figure out what amount of time are you spending on actual sales and marketing activities. And I think you'll be shocked at how little you're actually spending, because if you really invest 95+% of your time on getting your money, getting new customers, marketing, you will make more money. That's just a guarantee. This one is going to ruffle some feathers, but I truly believe that these conferences, masterminds, and networking events are a complete waste of your time and money and resources. If you're starting a business, you need to, again, as I mentioned in my last tip, focus on who has my money, where's my revenue, where's my clients. I need to grow, I need money in the door. You need to operate on a real business that has sales. And I keep saying that because a lot of you are spending your money on going to this conference in Orlando or New York or all over the country. You're flying, you're spending time, you're taking pictures with your favorite influencer in business, but you're not actually focused on how can I make more money. And you might be saying, oh, I'm making connections, I'm learning. You can learn by watching this YouTube video during your lunch break and then go back to selling, right? I think it's not sexy, it's not attractive, this advice, but it's so true. I wasted, networking, conferences, so much money and so much of my focus, and I thought that was gonna grow my business. But if I focused my time on sales, marketing, getting more customers, growing, I'd be making so much more money now in my business. I'm doing well, but I would have grown so much faster. I would have gotten out of that struggling phase where if I really said, okay, these conferences, what's the return on investment? I mean, yes, you're gonna learn about mindset. You're gonna learn some marketing gimmicks. You're gonna learn maybe something from a connection that you make, but you could have made that connection on Instagram. Or you could have been watching that information on YouTube. Most of these conferences, they take their videos of, like, they record the conference, they put it on their YouTube channel for free, or they sell it for like 50 bucks. So would you rather spend $1,000 on a ticket, $1,000 on plane and hotel, $500 on food, and then opportunity costs of not making money during that time, which could be tens of thousands of dollars? Take 50 bucks, buy their recording, and watch the conference if you want, and skim through it, right? Don't waste your time going to the conference, going to the networking event, and building connections when you could just spend that time building your business and actually making money. Your family and friends absolutely love you, but they have the worst business advice. So many of my clients tell me, this sounds good, but let me talk to my cousin about this. And I'm like, oh, what's your cousin's background like? Do they do YouTube, or do they have a business? And it's like, no, they work at McDonald's, but I want to ask their opinion. And it's like, they might love you as a person, but as a business owner, entrepreneur, their advice is irrelevant because they don't have the experience. They don't have the success. They don't know what they're doing. If I want to learn how to play golf, I'll give Tiger Woods a call and be like, hey, you obviously know what you're doing. Give me a golf club and teach me. You're not going to call your cousin who's never held a golf club and be like, hey, so how can I play in the Masters? Like, how can I go and play at this course and do well? Or how do I hit a good drive? Or how do I make this putt? In your business, why are you asking people that they mean well, they want to help you, but you're asking them to go out of their expertise to give you advice on something they've never done successfully, and asking them, hey, so I want to grow my business, I want to market, I want to get sales, how should I do that? They want to help you, like they want the best for you, but they don't have the expertise to get you the results. So be very, very careful with where you get your advice from, and don't seek their approval. It's kind of a follow-up on don't ask for their advice. Don't ask for their approval, because they might be happy with their 75, 100K a year. That's fine for them. But if you want to make $1 million, they're probably going to say, oh, that's too much. Like, don't be greedy. Don't do this and that. You know, God said money's evil. God said the love of money is evil. But you're asking people that don't have the same vision as you to say, okay, just want to make sure before I aim for this, I want to make sure you're okay with this. It's like, well, if they say no, you're not going to do it. So if that's not relevant, then go do it anyway. The last one is that you're probably setting too many limiting beliefs and limitations on your potential. I grew up, as many of you know, with a very scarcity mindset, scarcity background around money and goals, and I didn't really think what I have now with the cars and like the fancy lifestyle and the money. I never thought that was going to happen, but I never eliminated that as a possibility. But I think so many of you that are struggling, you either set goals so low and or you have such limiting beliefs that you assume failure from day one, even subconsciously. Like, you're working on your business, you're trying to get clients, you're growing, but you're still in the back of your mind kind of assuming that this is all going to end someday, this is going to fail, and what you think is possible is possible. Remember that. What you think is possible is possible. So if you think, I'm not really a great entrepreneur, I'm maybe gonna make 50,000 bucks a year, that's possible. Like, that's probably what you're gonna do. You're not gonna think, if I can only make 50 grand, then I'm gonna make 5 million. Like, it's just your mind doesn't even think that's a possibility, because you have this imaginary kind of limiting belief around you that you're only as good as 50,000 bucks per year. So as I'm saying, if you grew up with kind of that scarcity around money and goals and you don't think big, don't even set any goals, because your goals are probably going to be too low. Just focus on day-to-day, making progress, marketing, sales, be busy on the right things. Don't be busy just watching Netflix and YouTube videos and thinking you're working on your business. Be busy with progress, like, how many people am I going to reach out to today? How many calls am I going to make? Like, actual quotas. And you're not going to have time to set limiting beliefs on yourself. If you're not thinking big, don't think it all at first. And then as you start making progress, naturally you're going to look back and be like, wow, I made so much progress just because I focused on growing, 1% a day, 0.1% a day, whatever you want to think of it as, but just focus on growing day to day. Don't think about, I'm only as good as this, or that teacher in 5th grade said I wasn't going to do anything. It's like, I don't care what they think. Who are they? Or anybody in your life that's putting limiting beliefs on you, you're believing that, right? In life, don't believe what people are saying good about you, but don't believe what they're saying bad. So many people only look at the bad and they let that sit in their subconscious, and they, again, set goals so low that they're attainable in their mind, or they assume failure. And I had that in my own business. I grew up with that mindset. I didn't set big goals, but I never thought, oh, making 5 million bucks a year, that's impossible. I never thought that, I can say with honesty, I never thought that that was definitely gonna happen at this exact time frame in my life. But I also thought, okay, if I just keep working, making progress, I get the next client, let me get the next client, you know, the next month of revenue. I kept pushing, kept swimming, kept going, and eventually I have what I have now, and I'm still focused on that. I still think, okay, like I'm not even gonna set a goal too big because maybe it's too small in actuality. I'm just gonna go day to day. Next client, next revenue, etc. So in your business, really focus on, don't set goals too low. And if you feel like you would, don't even set goals whatsoever. Just focus on getting a little bit better, a little bit more progress every single day. And in 18 months, 24 months, 5 years, you'll look back and be like, wow, I've made a lifetime of progress in such a short time frame because you didn't have limiting beliefs on yourself. Bottom line, I love to make videos that are focused on the positive side of entrepreneurship, thinking optimistically, here's what you can do. But sometimes some people need to be coached by saying, hey, here's what you're doing wrong, stop doing that. And then if they do the opposite of that, they'll be successful. I'm that type of guy where if you point out, hey, here's what you're doing wrong, or here's the mistakes to avoid, I'll just say, let me do the opposite of that. And that's going to be successful. So maybe that's you. If you're struggling, if you're not in the place you want to be in your business, think of which of these mistakes, these mindsets, these habits are causing you to not reach your goals. Write it down and say, okay, I need to focus on doing the opposite of that, whatever that looks like. And for a lot of people, that really helps them become successful, like myself and like you. Thank you for watching. Comment below and have a great day.